I love Olivia. And when I grew up, she was everything to me. I had a poster of her by my bed that I kissed every single night. And funnily enough, if you look at a photo of my wife, looked very much like Olivia Newton-John. So careful what you wish for.
Well, I watched the film last night. I watched your film with my family because we are a blended family.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I think it is a new thing now that the 2.4 family, it's gone. It's now the 1.3 family. And yours is not a conventional family either.
No. I wanted to understand what the 1.3 is.
Well, maths is not my strongest point on how you divide that up.
I don't even know what the 2.4 is.
Well, the 2.4 is what they used to think was the average family. So,
I see.
Yeah, mum, dad, and then 2 kids. But now blended families or patchwork families or families sort of, joined together, that's the largest growing family.
Yeah.
I guess like yours and like the one
Yeah, I have 2 adopted kids. I've been married for 27 years. It'll be 27 years in April. And this film I play, it is a blended family and going through a really tough time. And sometimes when the blended part of it is not fully resolved, my character split 2 years ago from his wife and they haven't really resolved that. So they're not really great co-parents. And then the son is going through this really, really acute depression and they're just not really well equipped to handle it.
I think there's a lot of people that will really feel that at the moment, having blended families, but also the fact that mental health is right at the top of the agenda and rightly so.
Good. I'm so glad it is because it's an epidemic, I think. I mean, mental health and these mental health crises are affecting everybody. If not you, the person listening right now, I'm sure that you will know someone who is going through it. And I think these conversations and these subjects still have an air of secrecy and shame. And
they're taboo.
Taboo. And we should be talking about them because we have to talk about them. And it's okay not to know everything. It's okay not to be the expert, even if you're the parent. We have to rely on others, lean on others, and lead with vulnerability, I think.
Well, talking of blended families, you mentioned your family there. You have an Ava. I've got an Ava. You've got an Oscar.
Yes.
Dad's an Oscar. What's it like, having a family that tight? You've been with your wife, Deborah, now for 27 years. What's the secret to it?
I think honesty and intimacy and making time. You can't just assume that things will just tick along. Okay, you have to make time and intimacy is about really sharing what you're going through, feelings, and checking in with the other person, checking in what they need from you, checking in how they're doing, checking in beyond just because it's so easy to get caught up in the day-to-day of life. That's hard enough. Kids, school runs, whatever it is, sleepless nights, it's tiring. So you have to be checking in with each other.
Do you mean just like little things that you do? Because you put a lovely Valentine's post up. What are the little things that you do? All the big things?
We have time together every morning. So we make sure, like the day can get away from you. And sometimes in the evening, I'm sorry, that's not the best version of me. By the evening, it's not. I'm tired. I want to check out. I run out of words for the day. They say men have 2,000 words a day.
Is that what they say?
Women have 6,000, men have 2,000. And so a lot of the complaints are home. Women are like, why isn't he talking? What's he thinking? Trust me, he's thinking nothing. He's just sitting there watching television. Nothing is going on. And so I sometimes will say to my wife, babe, I'm just out of words. I've run out of words. And she'll go, I got it. So we start the day together. We meditate together and then we just read a little bit from a book and we just check in.
Now, I wanted to talk to you about Norwich City because I'm a Norwich City fan.
I love this, Myleene. I never talk to Canary fans.
I'm a Canary. I was brought up in Norfolk. How did that happen?
Well, I grew up in Australia, but my dad was from London. My mum was from Norwich. So everyone was into football, into English football when I was growing up. And I was like, Dad, you're from London. What's the London team? And he goes, well, there's Chelsea, there's Arsenal. I was like, Mum, he said, well, Norwich City. I was like, that's it, Norwich City. So I chose Norwich City.
You're a Canary.
I did actually have a letter. I don't think I've said this publicly before, but I did get a letter from Delia Smith at one point and Stephen Fry asking if I was hearing and would I be interested in coming on board. And I was like, listen, I don't think... I'm really not as involved as you think, and I'm sorry, and no. And then they literally got promoted to the Premiership that year, and I was like, curses.
Let's be having you.
Let's be having you. I love Delia. She's great.
She's going to love you.
But I can announce it as a Norwich City fan because everyone talks about Ryan Reynolds owning Wrexham, and I just heard about Michael B. Jordan owning Bournemouth. And I think anyone can own a team, but I'm going to become a player. So I'm asking Delia if she would. I'm happy to try out. and I don't want to play a full 90 minutes, but I just like a solid 10 minutes at the end.
Okay, I would like to see that match.
I'd like to see that match too. I'm not in goal, not just standing.
You'd be good in goal, you're tall enough. Any chances of that top hat, the Circus Showman hat, is it going to be dusted off anytime soon?
I don't know. I do love to sing the songs, and I get out there and I do sing them occasionally for people or at charity events and do that. There's no specific plan right now, but it was one of the great experiences of my life, and I don't know. I have a feeling there's still life to that thing. I'm not sure where it's going.
Well, my final question, you talk about singing songs, and somebody that we lost recently, Olivia Newton-John, is someone we play a lot on Smooth. Do you listen to her songs?
I love Olivia. And when I grew up, she was everything to me. I had a poster of her by my bed that I kissed every single night. And funnily enough, if you look at a photo of my wife, looked very much like Olivia Newton-John. So careful what you wish for.
You're very lucky
But
man.
to me, she was, and I was lucky enough to meet her, funny, cheeky, so obviously beautiful, so talented, and so humble, and just one of the great people of our business. She's missed by everybody, and especially me.
Hugh, it's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
You too,
Congratulations
Myleene.
with the film. We loved it. My family and I we're obsessed with it.
Say
Thank
hi
you.
to Simon.
I will do.
Don't. Just remind him that I'm still his teacher.
I will do.
Just because I left the teaching profession, I am his teacher.
He will like
and
that too.
he must behave.